right, welcome everybody. Ged, how's it going?
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. My lovely wife flies out for 6 days tomorrow. Officially, I am sad I'm going to miss her. Unofficially, I'm so pumped to just chill.
I was gonna say, how much are you just gonna be sitting on the couch, just catching up and binging things?
Super Bowl this weekend, the Waste Management this weekend, which is one of my favorite golf tournaments. I might have to take a personal. Yeah. I might have to take a personal day Friday. I'm going to need time to really digest everything that's happening.
Well, it is Wednesday, and in a galaxy far, far away, I think our prayers may have been answered.
In a galaxy far, far away, I am not disappointed.
Yeah, I think everything we've complained about was touched on in this episode, or these two episodes, I should say. Yep. So before this edible kicks in, let's dive right in and, let's break down what the Bad Batch or not the Bad Batch got into in episodes 7 and 8.
It's perfect. I just hammered down a shot of Uncle Jagger. Let's get at it.
Nice. So we have a non-Bad Batch member, episode 7, and we finally pick up. We've been asking forever, give us some more info on what's been going on with the clones. You don't just wipe Tapoka City off the map and then just don't really talk about it or touch it again. And we finally get it. And we see, of all places, a bar, which, again, Coruscant, I think some of our complaints about how they handled some of the familiar areas in the other episodes, they solved all those issues with this episode, right? Just clones sitting around in a bar, which makes sense. If they're off duty, they're starting to get phased out because they've reached their terms of service, and they're all sitting around having drinks. And we have two clones who happen to be on the Venator, Admiral Rampart's Venator, when it laid waste to their home city. And it brings up a very interesting point right from the get-go, because we've kind of talked about, with Cody and stuff like that, like how many clones chips aren't working? You know what I mean? Like how come clones are disobeying left and right? But I thought this episode did a very good job of kind of really being clear on what's going on. And first off, just because they have a chip to kill Jedi like orders, it still doesn't mean they can't be sad and upset the way the Empire's handling.
That was well done in this episode.
Yeah. So it's by no means, it's not a chip malfunction. The chips are still functioning, all that. It's just, we don't agree now with what leadership and management's doing, which I thought was nice touch. And then Rex says, down the road, there's more and more clones that are, not functioning right, that they're trying to help. But I like that kind of shed the light on the situation, on how the clones are behaving and how they can still have feelings about what leadership is asking them to do. And these two clones obviously weren't okay that they basically laid waste to their home world, and they want it to get out.
Well, if you think back to Order 66, I mean, way more about this than I do, so I don't want to speak out of turn here. Yeah. But Order 66 really, really focused on eliminating Jedi and eliminating the rebellion, or whatever they called them back then.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the decisions they're currently making, that was never written into the code.
Correct. Yeah.
Sense, right? They can question, yes, we're soldiers, we do what we're told, but they can question why it is they're doing things. The only time that apparently they don't get a choice is when they come across a Jedi or something of the old insurgents or the old Republic.
Yeah, they kind of explored that gray area just a little bit, because if you disobeyed orders, you were technically a traitor, and I guess the chip mentality lumped you in with the Jedi. But for the most part, they have to obey those orders. But to your point, they don't have to agree with everything else that's going on in, the way the Empire conducts business. So definitely neat to see. I appreciated the dialogue and the direction and the plot points they went with that. So then we obviously have Admiral Rampart trying to cover his tracks, and we get a little bit of a Senator story. So we see Senator Tucci back from the Clone Wars. Yeah, Bail Organa's back, so we get some
Mm-hmm.
there. I'm always interested in Bail because I'm waiting for him to pop up. He didn't pop up. He wasn't in Andor, right? No. Was he?
He was not.
I can't remember. Yeah, no. I'm still waiting for him to pop up in Andor, but I always like how he navigates situations because he knows way more than he's letting on in all the
Big
conversations, and he's always feeling people out.
Yeah.
Which again I think it's very Mon Mothma like in Andor, right? So I like the way he kind of let Senator Tucci kind of like lead herself to the conclusion he kind of wanted her to get to.
For sure.
Yeah. So then,
and he's just great at that. Like that is his gift to the Star Wars universe, getting people to find their way.
Yeah, and he's a politician, right? He's very good at his job.
Yeah.
And I like the setup earlier in this episode. There's a line about, Palpatine's never here. Like, why shouldn't he be in here to debate this? You know, they set that little hook early.
And then,
yeah. So basically, we got Rex coming in. So they're bringing in the big guns. Always nice to see Rex. Did you think it was going to be Rex? I thought it was in my head. I'm like, it's Rex or Cody.
I thought it was going to be Cody.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Cody because I thought maybe he was on World. But then again, I don't know if people knew he defected and was in contact. So then I was like, maybe it could be Rex. So we got Rex.
So the question is,
always great to
Cody
see.
With Rex, yeah.
Yeah, you got to figure if he's going to reach out to someone, it's got to be Rex.
Yeah.
But Rex, I don't know. He kind of a loner as well. So, but he's helping clones. So maybe he has them, stashed somewhere. Because again, what was his name? Was the guy's name Slip? Yeah, Slip was like,
Slip,
I know a guy.
Cade was the guy that...
Slip said, my contact can make us disappear. So maybe he's doing like the whole, in Kenobi, that little rebel cell was getting the Jedis out, and you know, so maybe that's his path. But it's great to see Rex. I thought one, I don't want to say complaint, but obviously it was plot armor, but like. It was Rampart who hired the clone assassin. I guess there's going to be more fallout from the non-registered part of it, but I couldn't just help but think the whole time, why is it not Crosshair? Like, Rampart knows what Crosshair could do, and you're asking a sniper. Like, if it was Crosshair,
he wouldn't have missed.
Tucci would have died. Yeah, well, Slip would have died right from the get-go. So the story, Rampart would still have a job. So I guess plot armor, right? You need a story.
Of course. And that's why you don't see Crosshair.
Yeah. But like, oh man. Wasted opportunity. Like he could have just murked Tucci. Like, maybe Slip got away in the first one, but then he just kills them all. But then you can't bring in Rex. Yeah, I guess if you want Rex, you can't use Crosshair. So
you got it.
But yeah, just again, it's if you're Rampart, you want the best, but I guess he thought his boy can get it done, which he could not.
And he doesn't have a lot of faith in Crosshair. He was pretty leery of Crosshair even when he activated him. Yeah. Even though Crosshair did a great job for the most part.
Yeah.
He's not comfortable with Crosshair at all at this point.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that will trade now that he has been... Like, I wonder if there's a change there. Are we going to see Rampart and Crosshair cross paths again?
Yeah, so we'll touch on Rampart's future here in a minute. So that kind of sums up episode 7. I liked everything. Was it the most exciting episode? No, but it was a big step in the right direction. Episode 8 was fantastic.
Yeah.
The heist on the Venator, sitting in the ship dock, getting retrofitted, I thought was so cool.
As a big ship nerd.
Yeah.
I saw that, and all I could think of is Tyler Shaw.
It was just, and it's just, I appreciate new angles on things. It's sitting there ground docked, basically, getting repairs. They sneak in. They have to fire up the bridge to get Slip's, backup data log. And then when they do so, you can even see the bridge lights, like the outside the lights, everything lit up. The alarms go off, just like they say. They launch the V-Wing fighters, like all the clone battalions are going. And I love that they power up the bridge, the engines. They get the turbo lasers going, and they just. I thought they were going to steal the shit.
So did I. Yeah. I legit thought they were like, you know what? New plan. We're out of here with this
just blast out of here with a friggin' destroyer.
The upgrade. What do they call their ship? The Marauder.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine that. We're getting an upgrade, kids. We're going
Yeah.
from Marauder to Flying City.
And then all the clones you rescue could live on the ship with you.
It would be like Noah's Ark
Yeah.
for clones.
Yeah. But he hammered the engines and the thing just like fell forward pretty much.
Noah's Ark for clones.
Yeah. And I knew they were going to get off the escape pods. I still love that they did it. I thought it was a cool touch.
Yeah.
So I love that whole heist. And then they get the data to Tucci just in time. And then like the standout scene of the episode. Like you hear that grumbling of like the machines turning, and then you know Palpatine's his personal center chamber was coming up. And I'm watching this with Nyla. So Nyla's still 3 years old, and she's watching the whole episode with me, no issues. The second that Palpatine comes up all hooded, she like cowered on my lap, and the second he spoke, she was like couldn't like watch, like she was like trembling. I was like, okay, if she's like, she has no idea who Palpatine is, that he's evil or anything like that. Just from her seeing him in voice, she knew that is one scary dude.
Yeah.
So I thought that worked great. I love, I don't know, his just everything, his voice, appearance, mannerisms, everything was completely nailed for prime Palpatine. Yeah. And on top of it, the Bad Batch even alludes to it. He was, basically 2 steps ahead of them the whole time. He knew Rampart, you're going to clean up your mess, or if you get exposed, I'm going to use it to get what I want anyway.
Yep.
Which I thought is, again, it just goes to his character on what a master manipulator, the foresight he has. Again, he's kind of like Vader, right? You only want to bring in Palps every once in a while, and you don't want them to be foiled, look stupid, or anything like that. And Palpatine came in and absolutely owned the show.
Yeah, he nailed it. It was it was perfectly executed. It really, really was.
So that was pretty much it. A couple Easter eggs.
No.
Oh, what?
We see a separation at the end.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Echo.
Yes.
That's a big one for the heartstrings. Echo has been, if I remember, grilling Omega on learning the ships and things like that, which he does use in the series. Her knowledge of ships.
Yeah.
And now he's decided to stay with Rex.
It's interesting too, because he already had the heartfelt goodbye leaving Rex and Anakin, right? Like leaving the 501st to go with Clone Force 99, and now he's saying goodbye to them to go back with Rex. But like, I don't know, part of it feels right. You know what I mean? Like Echo and Rex, they've been brothers for a long time. So and he even tells Omega, it's not the end. This is just something I need to do. So I think we'll see Echo join up in the later, like they're whatever there is they're going to be working on. The conflicts are going to end up eventually drawing them together at some point.
Of course.
So it was a bit of a Omega was obviously sad about it, but I think it's going to make for some interesting storytelling coming up. Little Easter egg, we got the Martez sister hangar deck in the Coruscant Underground.
That's where they were.
When Rex is like, it's a Friends or something like that, they're not using it. Yeah. Well, again, it's a way of
Martez?
Well, we saw him was it season 1 we saw them? Yeah, we saw them in season 1.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it was just, again, it's just a nice little touch. It makes sense that Rex is using, if he had to emergency come to Coruscant, it would make sense that would be a connection and a source he has to kind of hide away.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to think what else from the episode. I did have one gripe, and it was when Omega goes with Senator Tucci. They pass Rampart in the hallway and talk to him. Wouldn't Rampart know who Omega is? Like, he's been hunting Clone Force 99. He knows, like, I can't remember her name, Namaste or whatever her name was, the Kaminoan they stole, the clone one. Like, Omega was her assistant. Like, he has her prisoner. Like, I don't know how he wouldn't know who she was.
The Minister of Finance.
Yeah.
Sorry, she would 100%. Like, she looks at Omega almost like she knows who she is.
Well, Omega has to say, I was born there. I'm a clone.
I'm a clone. Like, she should know who Omega is.
Yeah, it just for me the Rampart thing bugged me just because
should have known.
I can't they've been his.
She was out on the Senate floor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that too. Like walking around the open. Like the Empire must have a most wanted list on all those members of that squad. And Omega must be needed because they got to know she's special in some sort of way.
100%.
So like it was that to me, I think was a bit of
the end of season misstep. 1, when they go and they move whomever to where some of the Kaminoans were, was
Mount Canis, because I don't think you ever see
it. Would have no reason to not know who Omega is.
Yeah, I think it would be way too illogical that Rampart wouldn't have an idea who Omega would be, especially if he came face to face with her. It's not like she's wearing a disguise.
Maybe she had the Clark Kent glasses.
Yeah, on. Yeah. But anyways, again, this is just a little nitpick. These 2 episodes were,
needed.
Have much needed. Anything else you want to touch on before we rate these?
No, I thought it was an awesome step in the right direction. It's great to see them touching a bunch of stuff. They can make me super happy by giving me a Cody update next week.
Yeah. Oh, do you think this is the end of Rampart? Because he was arrested at the end of the episode.
Nope.
Would it be weird, though, if he's, not in prison? If anyone was checking up? It kind of does seem like an underwhelming way for him to go. You almost feel like he's got to die or...
He's got more of a story.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see. I got a feeling we're not going to see him for a while, if at all, but we'll see. Okay, how do you want to rate these? Might as well rate them together, right?
Rate them together.
A cohesive episode. Why don't you go first?
8-0.
8-0?
Right out of the 6s, right to the 8. It was what I wanted. It gave me a little bit of jumpy excitement. It didn't blow my mind away, but yeah, that's a solid 8-0. I'm going to be a little less than you, I bet, on this one.
No, we're pretty close. I'm 8.1. I think, again, we've been rating them previously low. This was much needed. Were they the most groundbreaking, exciting episodes that would be upper 8s, 9? No, but this is a solid score. These were solid episodes. Much needed episodes.
Big time.
Just the 10 seconds of Palpatine was just fantastic. And
that could have pushed it higher.
Palpatine. And now we know exactly how the clones got mass, phased out, right? They had to sign an executive order to now use conscription troops. We know Rampart was experimenting with it, but now it's basically, now it's law, right?
You know what's funny? I almost want to go back and change my score. I want to change it to 8-3 because
you can do that. We haven't ended the episode.
I have always wanted to know where it changed.
Yeah, this was the episode.
And tonight at the end of the episode is a question I've been asking, really since episode 1, episode 2 in the early 2000s. 15 years, I've wanted to know when the changeover happened. So I'm going to up it to 8-3 because I think tonight provided a humongous piece of information that every Star Wars fan has wanted to know.
Yeah, I always, to me, it was never that big of a mystery. I know lots of people talk about it and what happened, but to me, the clones have enhanced growth rate, right? I just figured, and they weren't bringing any more clones in. I just figured as clones died in battle or whatever, they just would replace them with conscription troops to the point where when we get exactly, they ran out and put to the point where we get to A New Hope where it's pretty it's 90% regular people and maybe 10% aging clones. But now we know it's going to be pretty much a galaxy-wide phase out of clones. They're gonna get their pension. I doubt they kind of made.
I like that.
Yeah, but they kind of made notes that they're never gonna live to see the day to get it. Well, Rampart said that.
Yeah.
So when we see the state of some of the clones in Rebels, I don't think they were getting a pension. So,
there's obviously a social tie in there too, right?
Yeah.
You can't see that not look at one of the biggest debated topics in our society, Canada and the U.S., which is how do we take
the way veterans are treated in general, right?
Yeah, and you know what, though, that was well done. That was a good, classy touch. I know they touched on a couple subjects.
Yeah.
This one was really well done. It was subtle, but not so subtle you didn't miss it. I thought it was really, really well delivered by Filoni in this one, for sure.
Yeah, and, it was too bad it took 7 episodes to finally give us something, but I felt like we immediately got back to season 1 level of Bad Batch quality. And hopefully, we said last week that might have been the kickoff point. Hopefully now that snowball starts rolling, uphill, and we kind of get better and better as we build towards the finale.
Yeah.
All right. So let us know in the comments. Did you guys love this episode? Was there anything we missed? And you'll catch us all again on Monday on Ged's channel. We will be reviewing episode 5 of The Last of Us, right? 5?
So good. Yeah.
I heard it's early. Is it out early this week? For some reason, I heard it's an early release because Sunday's Super Bowl. I wonder if they're just because they're doing it because of Super Bowl.
I thought I saw something that it might be.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we'll still keep Monday.
We'll still do it Monday. Yeah. So you'll see us on Monday, review The Last of Us, and then you will see us back here Wednesday, and hopefully the quality of Bad Batch continues. Peace out, everybody, and have a good one.
See you Monday.